Big truck, tell them where this plane going.
Now as we land in Montego Bay, it's like that, y'all. Coming from Jamaica, you know that it's a fact, y'all. The truck in case paid, now we rock and ride. Now we sippin' on Bahama Mamas when we ride. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'm your host, Big Truck, here at the King's Table. Hit the subscribe button. I need the likes. I need the subscribers. I'm up to 60. I'm trying to get to 100 before the year's over. So I'm going to need that. However, I do have Miss Shahrazad Ali. She's going to bring us home and shed a lot of light to a lot of this feminist stuff. A lot of these feminists are destroying households and relationships and the black man, but they don't even see it. They don't even know what they're doing. They don't even notice it. But we're gonna talk about it because that's what we do. We men, right? So let's spit fire. Miss Ali, spit fire, shed light.
See, we have a lot of power. We are very strong women. I'm saying that we're using our strength in the wrong direction. We're using it to tear our man down, tear our nation down instead of building it up. Having an education and a job does not necessarily mean you have a successful life. I keep telling black women that to raise a child, they say, well, I provided with food, clothing, and shelter. That's not raising a child, that's maintaining one. To raise a child, you need a parental coalition of a man and a woman. We have sons who, by not having a father in the home, they don't know how to respect women. They take on black feminine female emotionalism. They're doubtful. They're indecisive. They can't make a decision. They don't know what to do about being a man, but we can't teach them that. We don't have that knowledge. We have daughters who grew up in a home where they don't see any affection, where there's no man there. They go out into the world and try to mate. They don't have no idea how to be no woman to no man. How to function in a house with a man. I
gotta stop it right there. I gotta spit on this one. Cannot be making this shit up right here. A lot of feminists ain't gonna like this video. I can care less. My thing is, the truth has to be put in proper perspective. Okay? And like I can always tell people, find out what the person's past is like, the person's history, the history of a person. I once dated a woman. She would tell you that she's not broken, but when I dove into her past, dove into her history, I found out that there was a lot of trauma. There was a lot of things going on there. There was a lot of unfinished business. And some of the things I confronted her with, an attitude came with it. Well, here's the thing. Because of how you grew up and what you saw, that's what you were accustomed to. Some people go back to what they're accustomed to. Got another person, another partner. Father was there, but that emotional side, how a true father would do for his daughter, didn't do that with her. So when it came to showing emotions, when it came to opening up and expressing feelings, it was cold. She didn't mean to be that way, but growing up, she was never taught the feminine side, the female side, the affectionate, the sympathy side. Never taught that. Because she didn't get that from her father, because her father wasn't that way. And wonder why, when it comes to the love life, it always happens. You hit a brick wall. Well, this is how I am. If a person don't like it, so what? That attitude will only last for so long. We ain't getting no younger. Catch it.
Most of our children, just like us, get all the information we have about how you be with a mate off television. It's the only medium that shows us anybody being together. Those rules have not worked for us. The white woman's liberation movement, we don't have anything to do with that. We have not been under the control of the black man for over 500 years, so what do we have to get liberated from them from? They haven't been eyeballs. That's the white woman and her man. They're going through that, and that's their business. We don't have any business being in there. They only introduced it to break down the civil rights movement. Civil rights movement started with the black man, the black woman, and the black child standing together, trying to plead for freedom, justice, and equality, and more benefits in the country that they had built. They threw the white woman in there with the women's liberation movement and made it a woman against man thing. That created a big separation between black men and black women.
And that's what we see now, actually, and we're beginning to see that. We begin now not using as much as a color, you know, as she puts it, but you see how when you do have, because I've seen good couples together, you know, and I've seen that woman may have a friend, a girlfriend or something, she's not happy, try to come in the way and destroy that relationship or destroy that marriage. In the hood, in the streets, we call that cock blocking. We call that hating. You hating on somebody else because they're happy they have someone and you don't. And we see it. We see it. A family that stays together prays together. And sometimes it's hard nowadays when you do come across that one. Sometimes it is hard. And you do got them haters out there. Let's continue. Just wanted to throw that in there a little bit.
Everybody start going for self. Then they bring the welfare system in and tell us in order to feed and clothe and house our children, we have to give up our man. You have to put the man out of the house. When the white farm wife goes to the government for subsidy for the farm, they don't tell her to get rid of the farm and they keep that family together. But in the black community, they make it a requirement because they want to keep endorsing into the black community that the black man is no good.
That is so true. We see that. All of these programs get around women. We got housing programs, government programs, child care programs, but you can't have no man in the home. See, and you have women putting the man out of the home. That's another conversation. You know, the good man gets put out of the home. See, you got women, ladies. Let's really dive in deep here on what she's saying and where she's going with this. I'm a strong black woman. I'm this and I'm that. I'm educated. That's good, but those things don't help you keep a man. If you are out of order, you are out of order. And there's women like Miss Ali to pinpoint them things. Since you're not going to bring it up and talk about it, she is from a woman's standpoint, and I'm breaking it down from a male standpoint. These are the things that we see every day, all day. And we can't run from the truth. Too busy running from your damn self. Don't know when to shut your mouth. Don't know when to stay in your lane. Talk too much. Sometimes it just pays to listen. Do something different. Change your mindset. The things that you learned and conditioned to, you got to change that shit. Especially if it's not working for you.
He is not deserving of us letting him give us any protection or instruction, and that we are better than them. The major responsibility that the black woman has had on the earth for the trillions of years that we have been here has been one of nutrition and birthing children. Those two things have a great deal to do with the survival of any people, the reproduction of the nation, and feeding them the proper food so that they can live. Those are very important jobs. Those are very powerful positions because it puts us in a position to decide who's going to live or die and how slow they're going to die by what we feed them. We have a very powerful position. That's not a small role that we play. We have just been taught to misrepresent and misuse that power. The people who we have been counting on to give us the truth about how to get along have failed. The white people don't know how to get along. They don't have that information themselves. They don't get along with nobody on earth. So they don't have no information to impart to us about how we're supposed to get along. They change their relationship rules at will. We have, tons of black children around this country that I hear from who have grown up traumatized by the fact that they were referred to as the outside child. When we were having children like that, they called it illegitimate children until the white woman started having them, and now it's single parenting.
I think another thing to add to that too is labeling. I believe that, of course, the households is different. What goes on in a black household is different from what goes on in a white household. And oftentimes, you get the children that may be energetic, can't sit still. They get labeled. Oh, something's wrong with your child. Why? Because my child is happy, my child is running around playing, very energetic. That's what children are supposed to do at that age. But again, we live in a society where children are quick to get labeled. Then what comes after that? Well, they need to be on medication. Okay? They need to be on medication because they have a personality disorder, because they're too hyper. They're too energetic, they can't sit still. You see what I'm saying? All of these labels for our children, they shouldn't be. Come on.